Well, I thought it was hysterically funny.
Great.
But see, I've always connected with the Naked Gun movies, so I don't know if, you know, I mean, obviously they have a kind of a built-in audience. But you feel a little pressure going in to do a threequel, you know, to do a three-peat?
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, you know, there are not a lot of threequels that have been successful in movie history. But beyond that, the second Naked Gun was even more successful than the first.
Mm-hmm.
And they carried a big tradition of laughs. I mean, from Police Squad and even down to Airplane, you know, where Leslie Nielsen was also involved.
Did you end up with a film you set out to make?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We, from the first script I read when I came on board this project, and I talked to one of our executive producers, Gil Netter, and I said, you know, this is great. I mean, it needs some work. He said, well, you don't realize that a Naked Gun script will go through, you know, 15, 20 drafts. And that was draft 2. But I saw even in that the potential, and I knew what this could be, and I knew right away that this was going to be a hit, I could tell.
And Gil Netter's a real name.
Gil Netter, and he actually is a fisherman, and which is the sick thing.
He doesn't wear a trout hat or anything.
No, but he has a little brown trout pin that he wears on his lapel, shaped kind of like a Mepps lure.
Are you a tough director, or are you easygoing?
Well, it's interesting. I guess probably to others I'd be characterized as easygoing. But the interesting thing, I remember talking to Fred Ward one day on the set, and I mean, I don't yell or scream or anything like that. Heck, you know, this is only my first movie. I won't be yelling and screaming until at least, you know, halfway through the second movie.
You didn't like pull Fred aside and ream him out?
I had to slap him around a little.
Yeah.
But no, he said that it was interesting because how exacting a process it was working on this kind of movie. And it's true. Every actor who worked on this movie, as much fun as they had, they said it was one of the toughest pictures they had ever done. People who hadn't done a Naked Gun before, guest characters. Because what we asked of them, there's a rhythm, a speed to doing this kind of, you know, high-octane comedy that's
Sure.
really tough. And, you know, it took a while for everyone to catch on, but once they did, you know, everyone did a great job.
And most comedy actors are aware of that speed. Where people that spend most of their time in dramatic films,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's a little catch-up period for them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that it's different. And also, they're funny when they do that,
Mm-hmm.
even though they might not be aware of how funny they are. You know, Fred Ward's been in some funny films, but...
Right. Fred has done a lot of movies with humor in them. Tremors,
Right.
I mean, to some extent, The Right Stuff. But this was the first out-and-out comedy, I think, that he's ever done, and he was great. You know, it's interesting because when you have an actor as you know, well known as Fred, there really isn't an audition process. You say, well, that's the guy we want. I'm sure he can do it. But there's a little apprehension when you get on the set. Gosh, I hope we were right. And you know, first day when we started shooting with Fred, we knew that he got it. And there's nobody who could have played Rocco Dillon better.
And I can quote you on that.
That's right.
There's nobody who could play Rocco better than Fred Ward.
That's right.
You know, Leslie has a history. All of us that know him just laugh when we see him.
That helps.
That first time
Covers up a lot of bad writing.
It does. Well, that first time with him. I mean, because there's a whole history of him in these movies. Was working with him what you thought it would be like?
Yes. Leslie is. So I find Leslie not to be exactly what people expect. I mean, everyone says, oh, well, he's Frank Drebin. He's going to be silly and dumb. Mm-hmm. Leslie is very smart and very demanding of his own abilities on the set. And he'll be tough on himself, you know, until he feels he has done exactly, you know, the right performance. And so he's probably a lot more serious than Frank Drebin is, but he's got a great sense of humor, and he is a great teacher, and it was really fun working with him.
It is good timing.
Oh, terrific timing, and you know, a terrific sense of physical comedy.
Let me ask you one last question about Anna Nicole Smith.
Sure.
Whenever you had to frame her, you're always thinking cinematically?
You know? Yes, actually. Well, it does kind of stretch the traditional boundaries of basic cinematography because she is, quite voluptuous, and you want to include everything in a frame that is going to best accentuate that voluptuousness.
Right.
There, was that a smooth way of putting it?
And it worked. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet
All right,
you.
appreciate it.